And welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles, and welcome to my Kindle Unlimited wrap-up. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna go through everything that I mentioned in my last Kindle TBR, whether I read it, if I did, what I rated it, or if I DNF'd it and why. So first, I was attempting to read Danielle Allen's Holiday Hookup series. I DNF'd it. They are really short, so a lot of times it was very insta-lovey or insta-lust, which I really don't like. And also, fucking in public bathrooms was like a recurring theme, which I will never understand. I'm not judging. I'm not gonna say we listen and we don't judge, because I definitely do, but like, it's just not for me, and a lot of them I just didn't like, so I gave up on that series. Then I read Death by Dumpling by Vivian Chan. This is a cozy mystery series, and I rated this first book 3.5. I actually did like it enough to consider continuing the series, so maybe I'll get to that at some point. I'm not really pressed for it. I burnt myself out on cozy starting Black and Queen last year, so probably not gonna get to it anytime soon, but I like that first one enough. In that first book, we're following Lana, who works at her parents' restaurant. Someone who orders from that restaurant frequently ends up dead, and she and the chef both get accused of murder. She starts amateur sleuthing to figure out what really happened. Same formula for any cozy, and it really wasn't that bad. Main character was a little annoying, but not terribly, So then we have Two Books by Kasha Thompson, who I will never read from ever again. I think these were the second and third chances that I tried giving her. Working Through It is a workplace romance that I ended up DNFing because I don't approve of cheating. And I felt like that was what was gonna happen because the MMC is engaged. And I stopped reading and looked up some reviews and confirmed that he does cheat on his fiance. No, just no. The other one is Figure of Speech, which is sort of scandal fanfic about the press secretary and the president. And I rated this 2.5 stars. I have a DNF review of that, so I will have that linked in the cards and in the description for you. But it was a clear imbalance of power in a situation where the president acted like a fucking child, threw a temper tantrum every time he didn't get what he wanted, did not care about the effects that their relationship was going to have on her and her career at all, and does something that is wildly disrespectful, doesn't apologize for it, and you think I'm supposed to root for them? But if you want more of my thoughts, you can watch that review. Then we have Single Dads Club. I didn't get far enough to really know what this was about, and the first couple interactions with our two main characters were very weird. Like, she has a crush on this guy and like is a little obsessed with him in a really fucking weird way. Turns out he is also a little obsessed with her in a really weird way, and it just felt kind of icky. This was supposed to be a buddy read with Nat, and we both DNF'd. Then I read Strictly Friends. This is about a woman who has at this point in time, I believe, a 6-year-old son who is starting to wonder about his father, who walked out on them when he was 2 years old. She has a best friend. This is a friends to lovers romance, and she goes to find the father of her child, and it's kind of a weird situation with all of it. I think I rated it 3.5 stars. It was okay, but like, a lot of the problems just could have been fixed with communication, and also like abandoning your child for basically no reason is wild to me, as someone who does not want to ever be a parent. Just saying. Then I DNF'd Where There Is Smoke, There Is Fire. I only made it to the first chapter, but it started off in such a like kind of depressing way that I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. So I maybe read like 3 pages. Then we have Can't Catch Me by Alexandra Warren. This is the first book in her Houston Skyhawk series, and I loved it. Rated it 4.75 stars. Can't wait to read the next book. It's a friends to lovers romance, which I usually hate unless it's under certain circumstances, and those circumstances apply here. Brianna is returning to her hometown of Atlanta after maybe like 4 or 5 years, and she hasn't talked to her former best friend from high school and college, so they end up reconnecting, and I loved it. If you're a sports romance girly, you'll probably also enjoy it, but yeah, it was really good. This is my first by Alexandra Warren, and I definitely want to read more. Then I ended up DNFing The Umber King by Jamie Applegate Hunter. This is a romantasy, and it has to deal with fae. 2 things that I don't like right off the bat, so you're like, why the hell did you even read that? Only because I like the author. We're mutuals on TikTok. She's funny, she's a good person, which a lot of people on BookTok aren't, so wanted to give it a try, and it wasn't bad. The world is actually pretty cool. If you like Fae, there's also shifters, and our main character can see the color of people's souls, but otherwise she can't see color, like she only has grayscale vision. And so her sister gets murdered. It's 10 or 15 years later, and she is on the hunt for the person who did it. She's also kind of a vigilante serial killer. All great components for a really great story. However, it's over 400 pages. I'm not a romantic person, and I know that there's a sequel. It is a duology, I think. I'm not sure if it's a duology or a trilogy, but there are more books, and I just didn't care that much, but it was very well written. The characters are cool, you care about them, and I really like the world. So then I DNF Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is a really popular book, and I kind of read it just to see what the hype was about. Surprise, surprise, I didn't like it. It's about a teenage girl who goes to the movies on her birthday. She meets a guy there, and the guy ends up being her boyfriend's dad. I'm also not a huge fan of taboo situations, so it really wasn't gonna work for me regardless. I was just like, let me see. But if you like that situation, then this is probably for you. Then I read Cups of You by Carmen Lee. This is the first in Coffee Shops of Love series or something like that. It's a girl returning to her hometown. She falls in love with this guy who runs a coffee shop. I ended up rating this 4 stars. It was good, although there were some pacing issues as well as some lack of communication that irritated the fuck out of me. Then I read Worth It by Lady Marie. This is the first in her Sisters in Serendipity series, I think, maybe. It's fake dating. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I rated it 3 stars because there are side characters that irked my fucking soul. I love fake dating, but when both of the characters are pining after each other and not talking about it, I'm just like, bro, come on, let's speed this up. I know that it's a part of the trope. There's gotta be a little angst, okay? But like, wrap that shit up. Then I read Where We Found Our Home by Natasha Bishop, the first in her Lost and Found series. Again, loved it. One of my favorites of 2024. In this one, we're following Sierra, who's on the run. She settles down in Austin, Texas, and she meets Lincoln, who is a local firefighter. Really enjoyed it. Really liked their story. It is romantic suspensey, which I wasn't expecting, but really enjoyed. And I will definitely be continuing that series. And lastly, I read Cinnamon and Golds by Lady Marie. This one was probably my least favorite of hers. I rated it 3 stars. This one is about Cinna, who goes to her ex's mom's house for Thanksgiving. The ex isn't supposed to be there, but she also has a little flirtation thing going on with his cousin. So it's messy family drama, which is expected at Thanksgiving, but also a little spicy. So if that sounds good to you, you probably like it. So those are all of the books that I had on Kindle Unlimited recently and finished or didn't. I will be doing another Kindle Unlimited TBR next, so it'll be a whole new round of stuff, and hopefully I can finish some series and find some new good ones. But let me know if you have read any of these or if they are on your TBR. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.